Since Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. Many refrigerator repairs will require some disassembly of the appliance. Before you attempt this, be sure to unplug the power cord. If your refrigerator has an icemaker installed, you should shut off the water supply as well. To access components behind the lower rear access panel, have an assistant help you to roll the refrigerator away from the wall. If necessary, unthread the water supply line from the inlet valve. Be prepared for some water to spill. Next, use a 1/4-inch socket or nut driver to unthread the 3 screws securing the access panel. Remove the panel to reach the condenser fan motor and the start relay run capacitor assembly. To replace the fan motor, reach in and push the condenser fan blade off of the motor shaft. Use a 1/4-inch socket to unthread the 3 mounting screws to release the fan motor from the mounting bracket. Depress the tab to disconnect the wire connector to fully remove the old component. Install the new condenser fan motor by first connecting the wire connector. Align the motor on the bracket and thread the mounting screws. Align the fan blade on the motor shaft, then push until the blade is fully seated. With the repair completed, reinstall the access panel. Reattach the water supply line to the inlet valve, if applicable. Secure the water line retainer under the right side access panel screw. You can now push the refrigerator back against the wall. The refrigerator door racks can be removed by pulling the side tabs in to release the rack. You can replace or install a new rack by aligning the ends on the mounting posts, then snap the rack into place. To remove the doors, first detach the upper hinge cover, then use a 3/8-inch socket or nut driver to unthread the 2 screws securing the hinge. Support the freezer door as you remove the hinge. You can now lift off the freezer door. Using a 3/8-inch wrench, fully unthread the center hinge pin. With the hinge pin removed, you can lift the refrigerator door off of the lower hinge pin. Reinstall the refrigerator door by aligning it on the lower hinge pin. Close the door, then thread and tighten the center hinge pin. Reposition the freezer door. Align the upper hinge and thread the 2 screws. Snap on the hinge cover. To access control panel components, use a 1/4-inch socket or nut driver to unthread the 4 screws, securing the control panel to the upper liner. Disconnect the wire harness and pull the panel forward to reach the defrost timer, thermostat, or light switch. If you need to replace the thermostat, use a flathead screwdriver to help pry off the thermostat control knob. Disconnect the thermostat power wires along with the grounding wire. Lift out the thermostat, then remove the diffuser block. You can now detach the thermostat capillary tube from the control panel to fully remove the old component. Prepare the new thermostat for installation by transferring the capillary tube sleeve from the old component to the new one. Now feed the capillary tube through the control panel and secure it in the retaining clips. Reposition the diffuser block. Align the thermostat, then connect the power wires and grounding wire to the appropriate terminals. Align the control knob on the thermostat shaft and push it into place. Reinstall the control panel by inserting the drain tube into the hole on the rear liner. Then reconnect the wire harness. Realign the panel and thread the screws to secure. To reach components behind the evaporator cover, first remove the ice bin, if applicable. Lift off the freezer rack stop, then slide the rack to the left to remove. If you do not have an ice maker installed in the freezer, use a small flathead screwdriver to depress the tab to release the ice maker connection cover from the evaporator cover. Use needle nose pliers to detach the wire connector from the cover. If you do have an ice maker installed, use a 1/4-inch socket or nut driver to loosen the two mounting screws. Lift the ice maker off of the screws. Detach the connector cover and disconnect the wire connector. Detach the wire connector from the evaporator cover. Next, unthread the two screws securing the cover. Pull the cover forward from the top. Detach the grounding wire, then disconnect the fan motor wire connector, and you can fully remove the cover to reach the fan motor, defrost thermostat, and heater. To replace the fan motor, use a small flathead screwdriver to help detach the two retaining rings, securing the air damper control. Slide the air damper control up to remove. Pull off the fan blade. Rotate the rear motor retaining grommet counterclockwise to remove. Slide off the washer, and you can fully remove the motor. Before you install a new evaporator fan motor, make sure the front grommet is intact in the housing. With the wire facing the left side of the cover, position the motor on the housing. Secure it with the rear retaining grommet. Slide the washer onto the motor shaft, followed by the fan blade. Realign the 4 air damper control tabs with the slots in the cover and slide down to lock it into place. Replace the retaining rings to secure. Reinstall the evaporator cover by first connecting the fan motor wire connector. Attach the grounding wire, then align the bottom edge of the cover in the groove. Insert the icemaker wire connector through the hole in the cover as you fully reposition the cover. Thread the screws to secure. If applicable, reinstall the icemaker by connecting the wire connector, then align and snap the connector cover into place. Position the icemaker on the fill tube and the mounting screws, then tighten the screws. Otherwise, snap on the icemaker connection cover. Replace the rack. Snap the rack stop into place. Replace the ice bin, if applicable. With the reassembly complete, turn the water supply back on, if necessary. Plug the power cord back in, and your refrigerator should be ready for use.